Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, Tirkin, you know what day it is? It's Arcade Release Day. Last year in 2024, my Discord and I released Gashan, a Konami arcade game that basically acted as a light gun game, but if you played the cabinet in person, you would throw plastic ball pit balls at the screen and those would register as shots, kind of like a light gun game, but with actual throwing mechanics. But there is a sequel to this game that was never dumped and never out there before, Gashan Refill, and that is what we're taking a look at today, and it's going to be playable for everyone for absolutely free. And to say that the refill version of Gashan is just a better game than the original would be an understatement. This takes everything that was so fun and so charming about the original game and just dials up all the intensity and absolute weirdness to 11, because Konami was absolutely a weird company that did some strange things in all of the best ways possible. Before we get too far involved though, to be a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. But you'll see right here, the entire goal is to try to keep our cat from going too high into the sky. Now I am playing this with Gun for IR, and I definitely recommend using that or a Wiimote or even a Sinden, because if you play with the mouse cursor, it's basically going to be a free experience. Because in the arcades, actually trying to hit every single target with a ball thrown would be difficult and your arm would get tired, but if you're just clicking a mouse cursor, going to be a lot easier. And big thanks to the people that helped us as well to get actually out there to you. Now the person that had the board that I was able to help get a one-to-one rod dump of didn't want to be credited, but they know who they are. Additionally, Hippopippo and ArgonLefou helped with the launcher on this to make sure it is playable for everyone. You'll see here I won that first round, but honestly this is a 4-player game and it's going to excel a ton more when you bring friends to the party. But every single mouse cursor can be a player. You have keys for coin as well as start for player 1, 2, 3, 4. So definitely next time you have a game night, load this thing up. You're going to have an absolute blast with everyone who's hanging out, and that really is the fun about something like this. And because it is an incredibly rare game that only was in Japan and honestly didn't have a lot of cabinets out there back in the day, and even less now, preserving this and making sure it's playable for all time for everyone is definitely something that makes me happy. And at this point in time, there's only like 3 Konami arcade games from this era that have not been found and preserved, but trust me, I'm definitely looking for those. Crazy Streets Thrill Drive 4 being my #1 goal. As you get to the second area here, you're going to see we are pickaxe mining 4 gems, and you're going to have different spots that you can shoot. Some of them are going to be advantageous, some of them are going to be bad, because bats or other animals will fly out and attack you. This game basically feels like Point Blank, except it's made by Konami, and you throw plastic balls versus actually using a light gun with Dr. Dan and Dr. Don, but it has the same sense of humor, it has the same weirdness to it, and it has the same challenge as well. And again, if you use something like a Sinden or Gun for IR, it is going to be a quite big challenge because some of the hitboxes can be quite small, just because the balls that you would be throwing were relatively large, so it kind of made you be a little bit more accurate in the arcades. As we get to the final area here, you just have to absolutely unload on this wall to knock it down, get all of the diamonds, and then start shooting these gold structures behind to maximize your score. This is a party game, and the entire goal of it is just to get a higher score than your opponents. Now, I do capture this footage in my spare time while my wife is at work and I have free time, so unfortunately I didn't have a player 2, and try as I might, I've never been able to teach either one of our dogs to hold a Wiimote and play a light gun game with me. That would be one hell of a party trick. But if you have a game night, you get 3 people together, you have 4 mouse cursors, and you load up Gashan Refill, it's absolutely going to be hilarious because you can mess with your opponents as well in this game if you have them. It isn't just you against the game, it's also you against other people, and you can absolutely try to interfere with their performance while you're playing your own game. And you'll see here every once in a while a little bit of loading, but otherwise this works perfectly on any modern PC, and that's just because this was a PC in a box in arcade cabinets, so a little bit of loading always happened. But there's just something about Gashan, this weird personality, the puppet that is basically guiding you through the entire experience, that's just absolutely 10 out of 10 insane. And even though it's only in Japanese, you're going to understand everything you need to do in the game, because you also have pictures and visual diagrams of what is expected of you. And because it's Konami, a company that always made amazing music in arcade games, especially in this era, the soundtrack is straight up a 10 out of 10 as well. So go ahead and listen for 45 seconds, but come back, I'll show you more Gashan stages and talk about how we actually got this dump done. But enjoy it because it is some awesome music.
余裕でクリアボーナスチャンス
I mean, honestly, the music is great in this game, but it's Konami, so what do you expect? And you will see that I did win that match there again, but because, again, I'm playing it as a one-player experience, it would be pretty hard for me to do worse than player 2, 3, and 4 because they just don't exist. Now, how we do these things, and the nice part is modern arcade games, even though this isn't really modern, it's probably about 10 years old at this point in time, are just PCs in a box. After, like, the mid to late 2000s, all that bespoke custom arcade hardware left the floors, and developers would just make games on PCs and put them in arcade cabinets. So if you want to run this on your PC today, you can absolutely use a potato because honestly, this is not a high-spec game whatsoever. So long as that potato is plugged into the wall and isn't rotting around the edges, you should be totally fine. So a 1-to-1 raw hard drive dump of the game was made. That way it's preserved as it was originally intended, and then from there it's unpacked, and ArgonLefou and Hippopippo worked on the launcher and even made the bezel you see on the top and bottom, because what you're watching, this game runs in ultra wide, which is perfect because I use 2 ultra wide monitors on my editing setup, but if you play it on your television in your living room, you probably want to use those bezels just so you have a little bit more fun to look at. Now, as far as this stage is concerned, just shoot the ever-loving hell out of fish to catch enough for your sushi dinner. But again, when you're playing with more than one player, it gets intense because you need to decide what fish you want to focus on. If your opponent hits more than you do, then you're not going to be able to get that bonus and you're going to end up losing. So it's kind of like that same point blank aesthetic. If you shoot the squids in the level, you're going to end up inking and you'll have a little bit of visibility problems. But I just love the art style of Gashan, this 2D kind of asset look, even though it might be 3D models just kind of compressed down to 2D. The parallax scrolling in the overall stages, every single bit visually of Gashan Refill is just absolutely charming and absolutely weird all at the same time. And that really is what makes these games and makes them feel like Point Blank. The visuals are just quirky, they always make you laugh and you wonder what stage you're going to get next. So definitely, again, check this one out just for nothing more than the charm of seeing Japanese developers just go absolutely crazy with what it is they want to show on screen and making the graphics and overall presentation about as odd as you possibly can get. Why are there rabbits in the game? Have no idea, just kind of what they went with. In a moment, I'm going to do a second soundtrack sample, but again, you'll see here these coins are building up, and by the end of the campaign against your opponents, whoever has the most coins wins. But that makes perfect sense. The biggest coin pile is always going to be good. But here comes that music, 45 seconds, and I'll be right back with just a little bit more Gashan.
謎の UFO 軍団が大接近。今こそ戦え防衛軍。 UFO にボールをぶつけて撃墜してください。自分の基地を破壊されるとその人はアウト。今回の獲得メダルはこのようになっております。ではではレディーゴー。頑張ってね。
I mean, honestly, why not have an epic space battle with some alien invaders trying to actually abduct your cat at the end of the game? And I guess I say your cat, the player one is the cat. From there, you have different creatures you're going to use. And you'll see here, you have a certain amount of hit points. Once those are gone, it would be game over or it continues. So you need to be very careful here. In some ways, it kind of feels like Space Invaders, except you'd be throwing plastic balls at the screen. Now, obviously, that isn't really anything that we can bring to the table as far as the launcher is concerned. I can't have you throw plastic balls at your screen. And honestly, I don't really want to recommend you play with your balls whatsoever, but it's one of those things, if you actually plug in a gun for IR Ascendant, it just absolutely excels. So take it from me, just get 3 of your friends together, figure out 4 Wiimotes if you don't want to have to buy 4 gun for IRs or Ascendants, because that would be an absolute fortune, and play this at your next game night. There's so many amazing arcade games out there that you've just never played before and probably never heard of before, but people love to preserve them and make them playable for all time for people. So again, this was a group effort. I played one part and 3 other individuals that I've mentioned in the video played large parts as well, and definitely if I can ever find Crazy Streets Thrill Drive 4, I will help bring that to you as well, because that would kind of cap off my pursuit of preserving all these Konami games. We've done Castlevania the arcade we've done Gashan, we've done Akuma Mortis Immortal, and a couple as well like Cooper's 9 recently. It's just one of those things. There's so many fun arcade games out there that are going to go extinct that you never got to play in the US, only in Japan, and making sure that people can enjoy them for all time is definitely important. And I am surprised Gashan didn't come over to the US because it feels like it could have been turned into a ticket redemption game. But it's here, it's available. Check my Discord, and I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye-bye.